Brodes Media.
Oh my God! The Dallas Cowboys are the fucking worst! Oh man! And if that doesn't make me happy, you're not human. That was pathetic! And we knew it would be pathetic. It was somehow even more pathetic. Look, there's a reason why on Saturday afternoon, I did a show that was titled, "The Mike McCarthy Era in Dallas Will End Sunday at 4:25. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Cooper Rush sucks. The Cowboys suck. Mike McCarthy sucks. Jerry Jones sucks." No matter if it was a short week and the Eagles look ahead to Thursday, even if Jalen Hurts had turnovers, even if Nick Sirianni made boneheaded decisions in-game on the sidelines like we've seen previously, none of that would affect the outcome. It was impossible to lose to this version of the Dallas Cowboys. They can't run the ball, which is what you do when you're utilizing a backup quarterback to try and take as much pressure as humanly possible off of him. And when he did throw the ball, it was for 2 yards. 3 and out. Boo! Boo! We won, Trey! We won, Trey! Then Trey gets in there. It's an interception. Boo! Boo! Right into the hands of CJ Gardner-Johnson. Yo, it was so embarrassing. You got linemen flopping like a fish on the ground trying to get a football. He rolled over 7 times, and it still goes into the hands of the good guys. Jalen wasn't sharp. Then he turned it on, and it was all she wrote. I truly believe the beginning of the game had a lot to do with knowing the Cowboys were terrible. And it looked to me like he was trying to do too much. You know how sometimes you play a team that are so bad, it's so silly, that you think you're going to have a stat night? You put up 5 points in hockey, or maybe you're playing basketball. You think you could drop 50, so you take some ill-advised shots, and then you realize mid-game, hey, I got to get back to me. Instead of dancing around in the pocket, holding onto the ball super long, looking for home run hits. Once he settled back into the game, he went on 7 play drives, going 80-plus yards, running people over at the goal line, throwing dimes to A.J. Brown, and then also finding Johnny Wilson in the end zone. He got back to himself. Can you do that against better opponents? No. But since the beginning of the year, you had it early. Then he definitely kept the ball in the possession of the Eagles for a while. Then it was a stinker for the early stages. But I don't think it was because Jalen is falling back into some crazy trap, and this is now to be expected every week. I truly believe in the bottom of my heart that it had more to do with that logo, which sucks. You were playing such an incompetent piece of crap that you got out of the norm a little bit. I forgot what the score even was. How much did they win by? It was such a beating that, believe it or not, I flipped to the Sixers. Oh my God. Do you know how pathetic you are if I'm switching to the Sixers? The Sixers are 1-7. Embiid's not playing. Maxi's not available. They're playing the Hornets. And because you got Kenny Pickett in, and you're running out the final 12 minutes of the game, which is not even competitive, which is glorious considering it's such a short turnaround, I was able to flip the game off to the Sixers. Let that sink in, Dallas. You're a piece of vomit. Well, I guess a piece of vomit. I don't know what that is. You're a big pile of shit. That's what you are. Yo, Zeke! Yo, fucking Zeke! Eat it all! Feed me the fumbles. Feed me Zack Baun, me and you, right there, baby, at the goal line. This is after Zeke decides what? Not to show up to certain meetings or whatever the hell is happening. That's how ugly it is. Zeke's deciding, it's not worth my time to show up for all of you when he's looking at CeeDee Lamb, when he's looking at Cooper Rush, hell, when he's looking at Dak Prescott, any of them. He doesn't think that his time is even worth being spent with them. And then Zack Baun makes one of the most electric plays of the game. Surprise, surprise. Zack Baun, this is the greatest addition in the offseason. And I'm not just talking about Howie Roseman, who, by the way, brought in Saquon Barkley. But I'm talking all of the league in regards to compensation, value, cap hit. Zack Baun is a game changer right now through their start of the season. That's unreal, man. Unreal. Now, here's where I thought Dallas truly went wrong this evening. When Jalen fumbled and they were 6 yards away from scoring a touchdown, they kicked a field goal to make it 7-6. And their logic was, let's keep it as close as possible. Stupid logic. Surprise! The Cowboys don't have brain cells. Surprise! The Dallas Cowboys are idiots! Dumb idiots! You're never going to get that close again. So you better try and take advantage of it. Now, full disclosure, they probably wouldn't anyway. Let me fix my hat here as I'm going crazy. I feel like it's barely on my head anymore. My headphones are shaking off. I don't know what's going on. My body's feeling things right now. That's what happens when I watch my football team win and win so beautifully. There's adrenaline. There's blood pumping. Okay. I don't know if Dallas would have scored anyway, because maybe the sun would get into CeeDee Lamb's eyeballs. Maybe Cooper Rush would throw the ball 5 feet into the dirt. Maybe he would throw it 3 feet behind any receiver. So they probably would have came up with a goose egg anyway. But you can't survive by kicking field goals when the Eagles can score the way they score when they turn it on. You're never going to get that close again. You have to take a calculated risk to try and get in the end zone. Kicking a field goal there, you look dumb. And, well, that came to be true. 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. The first one being Cooper Rush not even being able to handle a traditional snap. It's just a random snap after they go 3 and out. Here he comes back jogging onto the field, and he's trying to get a snap. He's dropped the ball. I've seen Tommy chicken cutlets. I've seen Ben DiNucci. I've seen some rough quarterback play. That's as hideous of an experience I've ever seen. That is so disrespectful to the sport. He should retire. 2 things. 1, when Adam Schefter dropped the news on Saturday evening that Dak Prescott was going to get surgery, I knew everything right then and there. They were giving up. But the second part of this is, for anybody who would look at the previous run that Cooper Rush had, where he won a bunch of games, except for against the Birds, by the way. But when he won a bunch of games a few years back, that was never going to relate to this style of Dallas Cowboys football. At the time of that circumstance, the Dallas Cowboys defense was allowing 15 points per game. The Eagles can barely score in the first quarter this year, and they would double that in this game. And that was my stance prior to seeing the result. They did even more than 30. And they probably could have done more if they used their first teamers in the entire fourth. This was a 3-quarter game, but not really, because the first half, our offense played like shit. So this was within a quarter and a half, maybe a quarter. You were never going to get the same results with Cooper Rush because this Dallas team is broken.